Okay. Intro to five element theory in Chinese medicine, which I think is totally the fun part. So let me pull up the manual page for it here and share my screen. So, Chinese medicine, five elements are used within what's called TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, to describe these cycles or patterns that exist in nature all around us, and then also within us. So we're made up of the same elements that comprise our outer world. And we can begin to notice and see and kind of tune into a lot of the patterns within these elements and cycles that predict being in full health or falling into disease. So they're fascinating and they relate to so many things. It feels like they're like a story and a poem and a healing journey all wrapped up in one. So just a high level summary as outlined here, water is the time of rest, represents decay, kind of like the dead of winter. And the movement is downward, like hibernation. Wood is a time for growth and expansion out, just like in the season of spring, like a plant bursting through and up. It's very upward energy, like yeah, little green things sprouting through the earth. Fire represents heat, the maximum function, and is also an upward movement. So kind of the fire and the heat of summer, and also we have how we have this like rise in energy, and summer nights are like later and longer, and it's time for socializing and being out and about and being super active. Earth is a time of balance and nourishment. So that's kind of late summer as we start to move towards harvest and kind of reaping all the seeds that we sowed inside spring. Metal is the declining or maturing state and a time of contraction. So kind of just like in fall when all the leaves start falling off the trees. So it's also like a downward movement that relates with that time and season. And all of these, so these elements and then their corresponding seasons also have several fascinating associations and themes that relate to colors, emotions, aspects of our personalities, also specific organs, so many things. I'm so excited to get into it. That all weave together for, again, like this full story or full perspective around health and balance and these natural rhythms that we can begin to adopt to kind of mimic the rhythms of nature around us. And my favorite way to kind of dive in, because I think it can be a lot to take in, a lot of information to take in. And so I've found that I really like starting with the personality aspect of it with a little personality quiz. So in five element theory, we're all born with two primary elements that are kind of like the strongest within us. And then the other three are kind of like considered to be weaker. And it's when we can find this balance within ourselves of kind of like between all five of the elements and all five of those being healthy and represented fully inside ourselves, our personality, our bodies, our lives. That's when we're in our fullest state of health. So kind of knowing which ones we're naturally predisposed towards, like what our strongest element is, which is kind of said to be the force behind your personality, can be nice to know because it just gives this kind of automatic download on all your strengths and weaknesses that I feel like can be really fun to read about and see and notice. And then from there, once you kind of know what your main element is, I feel like it also starts to give you insight on how to bring up and strengthen the other four elements within your life, within your body, within the way that you operate, within your rhythms that again kind of just help you to stay healthy. And that's basically what an acupuncturist is doing when you come to see them in 5-element, is they're kind of noticing, okay, which of the 5 elements are the weakest in you right now, and how is that contributing to any physical symptoms or pain or stress or anxiety that you're feeling, and how can we basically bring those up, like give those elements a little, my acupuncturist calls it a leg up on the power pony. um, so I like starting with this 5 elements personality quiz, which is right here that I'll be linking inside the homework. So go ahead and take this quiz, and you can also kind of like poke around on this website. It's a great website. Dondi is the author of the 5 Elements personality book as well, which I'm giving you an excerpt from to read about the water element. So that'll be part of the homework too, which will help you kind of fill out the next few pages inside your manuals around the water personality type, and kind of getting to know the water element from through this lens to begin our exploration of it together. So we'll take this quiz and then do a little bit of the reading that I'll attach here as well. And if you're interested in reading more or want to know more about all the other elements and all the other personality types, it can be a fun little rabbit hole to kind of go down and then start kind of predicting which element your friends are. So that's linked here on Amazon if you're interested in getting that. And then the last piece of homework will be to write just a little bit about your results. So what your primary element is, and then also if that resonates with you or was insightful in any way, or also on the flip side, if any part of it doesn't resonate with you and feels inaccurate, then just kind of write about that too in just a short paragraph. And then we'll move forward with a little bit more lecture around a lot of the corresponding elements for the element of water in 5-element theory. So excited to see your quiz results and what resonates with you, and also as well as what doesn't. And then we'll go from there.